balloons, one off of the Sydney coastline and one down further south off of, what would that be? Calabay, I guess. Tamarong? I don't know.
I'm still getting to know the rest of the Australian map.
Oh, yeah, it's been fun trying to learn things. But yeah, I didn't know I could pull up the weather balloon. Or, well, they're either weather balloons, government balloons. There's some kind of balloons. But like, for instance, this one that is headed out to sea is currently at 36,853 feet. And it is traveling at, oh, good Lord, is it moving that quick? No. Oh, okay, it's traveling pretty slow. So it's just kind of hanging out and floating outward. And if you had a radio, you could tune in to 402.78 and listen to it. The temperature is, well, I saw that. Relative humidity was 10%. Temperature is negative 42. So at 37,000 feet, it's negative 42.5 Celsius.
Yeah, but does that radio frequency, does that actually transmit verbiage, or does it just transmit data back to a receiver? It's
just data. Just data. That's what the frequency is transmitting on. And you'd have to have a decoder to decode whatever the data is. You know, the weather service, at least in the USA, you can download, or you can buy, or actually I think you can download online decoders to like get the information. It's obviously just data. You know, it's negative 42.5 feet at 37,000 feet with 10% humidity, and then it gives its latitude and longitude. So it's really, you're not going to get a lot from that. Now, if it's one of our top secret squirrel ones, which there was a top secret squirrel one off the coast of Melbourne for the longest time, hanging around at 80,000 feet, you weren't going to hear anything out of it. It wasn't going to tell you anything as far as just tuning in and listening. But, and even amateur radios will sometimes put them up. So you can get them that way. And we missed, they've had another firefighter fatality, which we'll talk about. And they have had a couple more. This isn't updated yet. A couple more police officers died in the line of duty. Of course, we didn't really get to talk about the suicide stuff as much. I wanted to with the military, the veterans. What was it? 17 people die in the military a day from suicide. It's a horrible statistic. It's horrible. And there's a number for firefighters as well that's pretty high, but it's horrible. We can do better as a country. So, but I missed a lot of stories here, Ross. I didn't get to talk about the people vandalizing Tesla that are stupid. So, this was over in Australia. A funeral director is charged with 64 offenses, including fraud, after a probe left families questioning whether they have the correct ashes.
Yeah,
that's
that
over
always
in East Yorkshire. Yeah, looks like an outstanding young fella. This one was a funny story. Firefighters help a paratrooper finish after jumping out of a plane. He landed in a tree, so firefighters had to go get him. You ever jumped out of a plane, Ross?
No, I had never jumped out of a perfectly good airplane.
I don't see the need to.
Yeah.
This was just a human interest story. Cheeseburgers and chicken failed to entice a dog in Alaska. The reason I liked the story was he was rescued from the wildlife fires in Florida and transported to Alaska. And he slipped out of his collar, and he is now in the woods, and they're trying to get him back. And he's like, I want no part of you people, and it's cold up here. High winds and tornadoes. We talked about that. Who leaves their kid at McDonald's to go to a job interview? Ronald McDonald ain't going to take care of them. And then we didn't talk about this Taylor Swift either. I missed a whole lot of stuff. So, yeah. No more chains on the sideline of the NFL. We're all digital and AI now. It's crazy. And have you seen the new baseball bats?
Yeah, the pinball looking things.
Yeah, they're the torpedoes.
Yeah.
And Ross shares my thoughts on airplanes. It's sound strategy. Yeah, why jump out of a solid perfectly good airplane? Yeah, but exactly. In one night the Yankees hit 6 home runs off the new bats, and they're like, we might want to take a look at this. So
yeah, what? And they set some 3-game record.
Yeah, they went on a run. The Yankees did for like 3 nights. Just slamming them out of the park. Can you imagine what it's going to do when they go to Colorado? Holy cow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. These are just the highlights I missed. Right. I wanted to talk about
there's Monica so much Clark different about the games already that why are we doing stuff like that just to get more home runs? I think it's
they compared it to a bowling pin. So,
yeah.
What? It's called a torpedo bat. Yeah, but the Yankees are getting by with it because it's legal at the time. It's the Yankees. They get by with everything, man. They're like the Dallas Cowboys of baseball. So, so then ESPN Monica's McNutt, that's a strange name, claims Caitlin Clark is popular because she's a white girl from Middle America. I think she's pretty popular because she set all the records and she's an excellent player.
Exactly.
Who am I? But yeah,
that was pretty much it for me. Or was the white lady that she was talking to agreeing?
We'll have to go back. It looks like she was agreeing with her. She's like, yeah, that's okay. Well, I mean, come on, you're on national news and somebody says that. Are you gonna? I mean,
yeah,
you might push back a little bit.
I would push back and like, there's one thing about helping out with equality, but I mean, come on, I think she's deserved it, regardless of whatever color her skin is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, heck. Well, I've been a college basketball fan for a while. Candace Parker from Tennessee Lady Vols, she was the first female to dunk. And all they kept saying was that because of her color, it has nothing to do with her color. She's talented. Watch her. Yeah, these people that are this talented are once in a lifetime people,
Right.
So, but I mean, now can you imagine Pete Rose with a torpedo bat? Or Hammer and Hank.
Yeah, and see,
of course, the balls are different there too.
That's the thing, is that now every record that's going to be set is going to have an asterisk by it.
Got to have an asterisk. Yep.
We already have longer seasons. Yeah. We already have longer seasons. We already have so many different things that are different. Now there's DHs in both leagues.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so many things that are different from when baseball was made popular.
Yep.
We've gone from it being popular to it being just a business.
Yes. Yes. It's more about the money now.
And when it's
they want to speed the game up because they don't want to lose people's attention.
Which put in body checking.
Yeah, well, I mean, exactly. You and I remember the old days where you could sit with a pencil and box scores and everything.
Well, so. But I also remember the old days. You mentioned Pete Rose, when you actually didn't have to slide at any base. It wasn't just home base or home plate. It was any base. There was any sort of obstruction or whatever, you could mow them over.
Yep. Can't do that anymore. Yeah, because Pete Rose, wasn't he the one at first base that just clobbered somebody?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one that had the famous shot where he's coming in and the guy's trying to block? I don't remember who it was now, but yeah, I think it was Pete Rose at first base. But yeah, you're right. All these are going to have asterisks beside them. But, I mean, I guess football is the same because not Jim Plunkett. Who was the kicker for the Raiders that kicked into his 60s? He couldn't do that now.
He was a barefoot kicker. Ray Guy.
Yes, Ray Guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He couldn't do that now. They'd kill you.
Well, is barefoot kicking just dumb, or is it now actually outlawed?
I think it's outlawed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's outlawed. I have to go back and see, but because I think the last one to do it was the short quarterback that played so long for Buffalo from Florida.
I want to say it was Tony Franklin from the Eagles.
Was it? Okay, I was thinking it was.
That's my guess.
Well, I don't know on that stack, but yeah.
Let me see.
That's right. Yeah, Pete Rose was the one that plotted with the catcher in the All-Star game. It meant nothing exactly. What was it?
Last barefoot kicker in the NFL was Rich Carlis.
We were both wrong.
Yeah. Who played
So,
for the Denver
well,
Broncos, Minnesota Vikings, and Detroit Lions from 1982 to 1990. 9 seasons in the NFL, known for his barefoot kicking style,
yeah, can't do that now. Can't do that
making
now
him
at
the
all.
last full-time barefoot kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, there's so many things there's asterisks by, and it's in every sport, but the ones we really follow that matter, the baseball, the football. And we're saying that as Americans, and they're like, what about cricket, soccer, real football? So rugby, Australia, no rules football. I've watched a little of that. That's rough. So
listen to this one a minute. Jeff Wilkins. Yeah, Jeff Wilkins. Is that who you were thinking of?
no, if you say his name, I can see it. He was a quarterback with Buffalo, and he was one of the last quarterbacks when they used to have a rule on fourth down. The quarterback had the option of punting, and nobody ever used it. And he was the last quarterback who punted for an extra point or for 1 point in a game. It was an old rule.
Okay.
He was the last quarterback to do it. But yeah, on fourth down, the quarterback was the only one. He had the option, and if he came out barefoot, and everybody knew he was going to punt.
Yeah, other notable players who kicked barefoot include Tony Franklin and Mike Lansford. While some sources mention Jeff Wilkins as the last barefoot kicker, he actually kicked with one shoe off, not barefoot. Does that mean he had a sock on?
I guess.
Like, what's the difference?
I don't know. It's probably one of those things that you can get by with. Well, he's got a sock on. He's protected. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna look that up when we get offline. But yeah, I'll turn your show over to you because I know you got things you wanted to talk about. But
yeah. Well, actually, I'm finally going to do it the right way today.
What are you going to do?
Well, Jurg's Radio News, which is now Mastiff Media Magazine, was a replay of the most recent NPR, Associated Press, Reuters, the different 5 or 10 minute podcast episodes that was news. And we repurposed them into 1 hour show, playing them back to back to back, and then filled it up with Outrage Overload Science Bites by David Beckmeyer and Daily Crypto News by Matt Deemer. So today we're going to do that plus ABC News.
Okay.
And that's not our ABC News. It's their ABC News, meaning those down under in Australia, Australian Broadcasting Company will have their news rounded off today, which will be for the East Coast right about 7 o'clock a.m. So for those in Canberra, Melbourne, Sydney, that whole area, you'll be wrapping up and starting off the work with actual news that's relevant to you.
Awesome. And this GEMA website shows radar, but it doesn't really do a good job down under. I have not found a good one for radar weather down under yet, but I'm not sure how they're like. If you look go back, this breaks it down by state and county. I'd like to find one that does that something similar, so that I could say, like for instance, there's that's a severe thunderstorm warning, but I thought there's a tornado warning right there. And where is that tornado warning? That is in, it's Missouri. Yeah, there's 2 tornado warnings in Missouri right now. So yeah, I wish I could find something like this for down there.
Oh, I got a doctor appointment in a half an hour.
All right, well, I'll let you go enjoy your show. Thank you for allowing me to.
Got to do that and then get to a doctor appointment yet.
All right. Well, I hope you get that ED taken care of, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Ross, I'm going to sign off from Jurgs, and then I'll finish up on my show, wrap it up. But thank you, Ross. I appreciate you, or Jurgs, for allowing me on the radio. It was
as always
my pleasure.
I'll see you tomorrow.
And all right, brother, have a good day. We'll see you soon.
See everybody.
All right.
All right. So
well, I guess I could have let him finish talking, but yes, thank you, Ross. We always love it when Ross comes over. Even if I heckle him, I love it when Ross comes over.
So let's leave from there. There we go. All right, gang. I have something for you, even though we're already 15 minutes late. This is what Mastiff Media Magazine formerly Jurg's Radio News is supposed to be. And so this is what we'll get into now that we're done shooting a rap with Sportcat. And let's see if he's going to let me on my own radio station here. There we go. All right. For those of you just joining on Jurg's Radio, Rainbow Radio, and Radio X, we are 15 minutes into the time slot of Mastiff Media Magazine. What we're going to do, and I know we haven't been doing this in the first 2 days, I have a bunch of things ready here. I have what we did was we had the replay or repurposing of various podcasts from the news industry. And that's what we're going to use today and every day. That way you don't have another hour of me bitching. You're going to have something that you can actually do something with in your day. So here is the Associated Press. And what they do every hour, I think that's what I'm starting with. Oh. Nope. My bad. NPR. That's the 2 p.m. Let me see if we can back out of it and go back to it. See if they've got a 3 p.m. now that we're late. Still only a 2 p.m. All right. Okay. Well, National Public Radio here in the States does a new show for about 5 to 10 minutes every hour. The 3 p.m. is not out yet. So here's the 2 p.m.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Lakshmi Singh. The fate of TikTok in the U.S. is the subject of White House talks today. NPR's Bobby Allen says President Trump has given the parent company of the popular video sharing app until Saturday to find a buyer.
It's not